हाँ अंदर फूड कैंप में, नहीं यहाँ नहीं होगा, तो उनको बोल देना उधर भेज देना।
একটা জলের বোতল নিয়ে আর can you say check whether you can take a can you ask somebody to ring just check whether you can take a number is T for bottle Rajesh Vicky
We are about to start our program, and may I request all those who are gathered and having tea there in the food court to kindly come over so that we can start the program right away.
Also the future applications of printing. So that's the way I want to take you through. 30 minutes given to me, I may take little more, 5, he already given me time. So it is my job also to make you alive all the time. And it is your job also to make me alive. Gentlemen, you look at the population profile by region. 2010 to 2050, if you look, the world population is going to touch 970 crores by 2050. And in that, today we have 700 people around the globe. If you look at that chart, what is shown there, it is very interesting to see that Asia will have 25.6 million population under the age of 0 to 14, and between 15 to 59 you will see 63.4 million. It's a huge number what we have. Whereas at the same time you look more developed region, that second column, if you look, by 2050 the population above the age of 70 will be 26.5 million, and when it comes to Europe, you see last, you can see it will be 27.2 million above 70 years, and they have population between 0 and 14 is just 14.5 million. This is the advantage what we are going to get in the coming days. But this population distribution has lot to do with printing. Another interesting data, if you look, the most populated cities in India, if I take up to 2025, look at Kolkata. Kolkata had a population of 4.5 million in 1950. And by 2000, that has touched around 13.04 million. And you see in 2025, it will be 20 million. So from 13 million to 20 million in 25 years of time. Delhi is going to be number one, from 15 million to 28 million, 28.5 million, maybe the most populated city in the world. Global print market will touch 848 billion US dollars by 2016 with a compound annual growth rate of 1.3%. This is I have taken from the PIRA International. And now let us see some of the facts according to various printing associations. The PEIAC of China, the Chinese Printing Machine Manufacturers Association, China's print industry consists of more than 1,02,000 companies with a workforce of 3.5 million people. And on an average, a company has a per capita 31,000 euro per annum. When you go to Europe, this is a survey from Intergraph. The European print industry consists of more than 1,20,000 companies, employed 750,000 people, but the average revenue of an employee is 1,20,000 euro per annum. You see the difference.
So, gentlemen, all is not lost. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful speech and an enlightening speech at that by Dr. Anayat. Thank you very much, sir. And I think this requires a standing ovation from all of you. So may I request all of you to come, kindly give him a standing ovation, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. May I now request Shri A. Appadurai, Country Manager, HP India Limited, to kindly come to the dais, please. Shri Appadurai, please. Appadurai, please.
Good morning. I am very, very overwhelmed because nobody would have said Appadurai like 20 times in 5 minutes. Not even my dad and mom. So I'm absolutely thrilled and privileged to be a part of this seminar, sharing dais with people like Mr. Anayat and the other distinguished guests who are present. Today my topic is about global print vision, very specifically towards the digital printing side of the business. So I will try and stick to the timeline. Mr. Anayat is a professor, so I would behave myself with the time. Feel free to stop me anytime if you have any questions. Okay. So I usually end my slide or presentation with this particular slide. But I thought I would slightly do it differently for West Bengal, because in West Bengal, I think the most required thing, having seen the country a little bit, the most required thing is change, right? I'm not going to really read out the quote for you, but Charles Darwin basically said that if you have to survive, you got to adapt to change. And that's exactly what my topic today is, right? So I want to talk about some of the, changes which happens in the market, not really what Mr. Anayat was talking about from a print industry perspective, but give you completely a different perspective about this business. Now, technology, printing is a technology, right? So we've taken basically multiple technologies and have estimated how long it has taken for a technology to reach out to 15 crore population. 15 crore basically comes from the US population at some point in time, right? This is a demonstration of something which happened a couple of years back in the market. Yes, it's going to work. This is a video from an end customer of you, a company which most of you would know. I'll play the video and then talk about the story.
every breath will once more connect him to the world's most iconic document. And with holiday learning, we celebrated and shared cake with a friend who brings a smile to every face. These virtual months, 5% more people drinking Coke, sales transactions grew by 30%, and volume increased by 4%, and 370% increase in the festival Coke. 12 million 20,000 media conversions, 76,000 virtual Coke cans shared, 378,000 extra Coke cans printed kilos, and 100 Honduras. We once contributed to a level, Coke once again became part of popular culture.
5% increase in the sugar water sales happened because of a printer like you who's sitting in Australia. All they did is they came out with this brilliant campaign called Share a Coke. Share a Coke with Bijoy, share a Coke with Vikas. So if you're Vikas's friend, there are every good chances that you will buy this Coke bottle and take it to Vikas for a party. Right? This small tweak, you saw the results. 5% increase in Coca-Cola's business is not small. And then you saw 50% of the teenagers have tasted a Coke because there was a small tweak to the label which was done. Now, if this is what printers can achieve by being creative, sky is the limit for you. Why do people come and print with you? They want to make money. Right? And this is an extremely good example of how a company capitalized on the technologies which is available in print and took it to the next level. Right? Now, just to share some information on the Coke campaign, this originally started in Australia. Now it has gone to Americas and the Europe. Today we have 2 billion labels, personalized labels, which have been already printed on the Indigo technology. Now 2 billion labels for you, gentlemen, is probably 5 years worth of business. Right? Now, anywhere you travel, you see this Share the Coke campaign. Now they're going one step forward. Beyond putting the name on the Coke can, in Israel, this project is right now happening, it's live. They create millions of designs with the HP software, and the Coke bottle that you buy, the design in the Coke bottle is the only design which is going to be available in the world. So you have a Coke which is very, very unique, which nobody else would ever have. Now this campaign is running very, very successfully, and now an extension to the campaign is people are having this designs of the Coke bottle they bought translated into their iPhone covers or into t-shirts or into bags, which has led to additional printing opportunities. These are things which people never imagined could happen to the printing world. Coke never imagined that it would happen to them. Today this is being awarded as one of the most innovative campaigns on earth. It won the Cannes Award last year, and the story doesn't stop at all. Right? This is where the power of print comes from. That's one of the wow applications that I wanted to share with you. The next one is about a poster, which is a very special poster which is being printed today. Most of you would know that digital is not limited to A3 size today, at least not with HP. We are already having very successful installation of the B2 format of the digital press. We have a couple of them in India already working fantastically well. Now these are posters which are printed using a media called Kling media, which is a non-adhesive stick-on paper or stick-on synthetic media. Now people print on two sides of the posters usually if it goes on glass, and it is a very, very tough one to change all the time when you're going to stick it. If you print two sides, you can't stick it. Now this media works with static electricity.
Now I have the privilege to introduce a great academician whose name Professor H.S. Jamdagni. He's a professor at Indian Institute of Science. He was a member of TRAI, Telephone Regulatory Authority of India. He was also chairman of Electronic Systems Engineering Department for 13 years. His area of work, embedded systems, signal processing, wireless network. And currently, he is working on projects from Ministry of MSME, Boeing and Intel, etc.
I am the wrongest person to be in this conference. I know nothing about printing except that I am a user of printers. But nevertheless, I will try to sort of give you my viewpoint. And the first viewpoint is computers are not compatible, as you saw just now. It's impossible to make a computer work in different places in a similar manner. In the area, I thought I'll take an easier way out. First, sketch a story of what happened to printing, and then talk about it from the electronics point of view. There is a little reason behind this madness to talk about a bit of history of printing from past to present. The reason why I want to do this, somehow it's not, the reason I want to do this is, we are now looking at what printing will be, let's say.
Stand little away, no, it will be
Yeah.
better. That's what I learned.
Okay. So if you want to know what the printer is going to be in the next 10 years, one of the ways which people obviously do is how it was 10 years ago. So now, knowing what it was 10 years ago, knowing what it is today, you can say this is what is going to change without telling too much about the technology itself. So the idea about the history, therefore, is let's look at what has happened in the past, and we know what the printing is today, so we will be able to say what it will be in the future. Here is the statue of this man, Gutenberg, who established this printing. It was mentioned in the earlier talks that Gutenberg has been considered the person of the millennia. Not Newton, it is not Charles Darwin, it is not Einstein, it's none of them, but it is Gutenberg. No, he made such a big difference for the reasons that we will see. In a way, he created a revolution intentionally or unintentionally, which I'll mention in the passage. So this is the Gutenberg. He's the king of printing. I don't know whether we should say king, the emperor, god, whatever, of printing, and he started it all. Now, what was this? This is a very simple, if you really look at the printing from those days' point of view, it is important to realize this because there is a paradigm shift which I'm going to mention later. So it was all, what was it? It was simply, it started in Germany in this year, 4850, and then it is a machine for printing books, basically. That's how it started. And what does printing really mean? It simply means that you have something and you press it down on another thing and the image transfer takes place. That's all about your printing in those days. You had a plate, you put a little transferable ink on that, whatever that means. It could have been a vegetable ink, it could have been anything else, and press it hard on another surface. And if the second surface is flat, and if the first surface has all the variations that you have on the print, then it transferred the print on the other side. Therefore, we had to think of these items we want to print through a mirror. Note that very important point, that if you have to print a page, we had to always think in our mind about the mirror image of that, because that is what you print properly on this. Now, this is important because the paradigm shift that has happened today, nobody thinks about printing with a mirror image, isn't it?
I'm a proxy for Mr. Abhijit Mukherjee of RICOM. For some reason, he has opted out for the last moment. And on the request of West Bengal Master Printer Association Executive Committee, I'm grateful to them to talk to you. The advantage of my talking in place of Abhijit Mukherjee is that I will be speaking on the floor, on the form, by the printer, by the user of the equipment, not the manufacturer of the equipment. And I will be putting before you the point of view of the user of the equipment. I'm fully aware I'm between you and lunch, and keep patience. I will not take more than 10 to 15 minutes of your time. Of course, question answers thereafter is your floor, your time, and your way of consuming the time. First of all, I'd like to request all of you, please put your mobile phone on silent mode. I'm talking extempo. Today morning I've been asked to do this job. I have no PowerPoint, no preparation. Whatever I have talked in various forums, from there, whatever I have my personal knowledge, I am sharing with you. First of all, let's understand we are printers. we should be proud to be printers. Let's understand what is printing industry in country India. The growth of printing in country India for last 2 decades is more than 7 to 8% of the country's GDP, which is not a big, small achievement. Yes, last 2 years or 1.5 years, this has dropped. It has become more or less at par with the GDP, or 4 to 5% more than GDP, not to 7 and 8% which used to be earlier. In India, the requirement of printing is growing, and probably is the only printing industry which is technologically at par with the world. We are printers, we are proud that on technology, on printing, we are at par with the world, and probably the only industry in the country India who is at par with world technology. Our consumption of paper per head, per capita, is much lower, is below 15 today, whereas world average of, including the developing, underdevelopment country, is more than 30 kgs per capita. So we can imagine how much a print demand, how much printers support to grow exists.
These stalwarts who are there, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any question whatsoever you want. Yes. Yes, Mr. Ramesh here. Mr. Sujit Banerjee.
Sir, your question is more of philosophy, not technology, part 1. So I will try to answer in that way. Sir asked, in the modern era, when all the information and knowledge is available in the internet, so just with a click, you get all the information. Do you really need this kind of seminar? Is the question number 1.
This will take a long time, so I suggest some other time.
I don't. I will sit with you half an hour, and from my perspective, I can clearly tell you. But I will.
People who did not hear Mr. Noel's question, Mr. Noel was asking about the Coke project that I discussed. He said how many printers benefited from the Coke project? Is it feasible in a country like India? So, wonderful question, Noel. First of all, when this project came up, obviously you know Coke is such a large brand and the quantity is so high that none of a single printing company, how much ever big it was, could do the job. This is where, this is something which I love about some of our customers, the Indigo customers that we have. We have a association called the D-Scoop. D-Scoop stands for Digital Solutions Cooperative. It is basically people, like-minded people having indigo presses worldwide join together in some place to achieve common objectives. I'll give you some of the examples which happens in this D-Scoop. If you want to know about branding, printing companies are very weak in marketing and branding. You will probably go to a professor of a branding school. But how would you like if the Harley Davidson brand director comes and teaches you about branding? You can never do that as a single person. But if there are 2,000 people who are going to join and pay the fee, the Harley Davidson guy comes and teaches you. This is what is D-Scoop about. Now, this association is very powerful in Europe. And when this project came up, the like-minded people got together with the network that Coke needed in Netherlands to France to every other place. In total, there were 12 printing companies, packaging printing companies, which got benefited out of the project. Between these 12 companies, they executed the project over the, whatever duration the project lasted, and is still actually continuing. This model is very much feasible in India. I want to just give you a heads up that we are in discussion with few companies like Coke, where not a single person can execute this job. You need a network of printers to execute. I think, organizations like BMPA or, West Bengal Master Printers, I think you will play a very, very important role in doing this networking in the future. Very much possible to do in a country like India.
Okay, with the funding from MSME, we have set up what is called a Center for Excellence for support to MSME broadly. Under that, there are three major activities. One is we can conduct what are called awareness workshops. Now that the question was asked whether with the internet era, whether you want it, so you will have to decide. If there is any interest on a very specific topic, you can conduct. I guess for the printing industry, this is not so interesting and not so important. The second, there is a small amount of funding available from our side, and if you match from your side, any single industry can actually start a small project with us. Typically, the total project cost will be about, let's say, about 6 lakhs, but it can be extended. I don't think there is a very hard limit on that. So we can put from our side a cash of 3 lakhs. It won't come as cash to you, but as project. And if you provide a similar funding, using that, using our premises, using our facilities, you can have a project running for you. And when any outcome comes out of this, if there is any IP produced, it belongs to you. So there is no hassle about that. The third is that in case there are more than one industry interested in this, let's say 2 to 3, then the amount of funding that is available will go up correspondingly, and we can have a project nearly of about 20 lakhs, for instance, running, where half of it again will come from us and the other half will come from the partners. Again, the rule is the same. The project belongs to you. We have our own facilities which we will use to support the project. You can send your engineers, etc. And the IP that comes out will belong to you. So these are the three major components right now. There are a few other minor ones which I think will be of not much of interest to discuss. Apart from this, we are now saying this is something which we will have to work with you. Suppose you find that some work that we have done is interesting to you. You would not have seen this, for instance, in signal processing or control systems or whatever, whichever domain. And suppose you find that research is interesting, then we will again spend some efforts as well as money to bring it to your product, to your product or your algorithms or whatever. We can do that. In which case, as the IP is already generated in Institute of Science, if it really becomes a commercial product, we'll have to see how to take it forward. But at the stage of trying, if you say that so and so this professor has a technology which I like and I want to take it forward, you have an opportunity to do that, for which we can also spend some money.
It has been a fantastic session. You all must agree this has been a wonderful, wonderful session, and we never expected that we'll have such a galaxy of speakers, stalwarts, leaders in the printing industry coming and sharing their vision with us, what is going to happen to the printing industry in the years to come. And thank you very much, sirs. Thank you very much indeed for your very knowledgeable and very articulate and absolutely wonderful, wonderful deliberation. A token of love and appreciation for a wonderful, wonderful deliberation, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I now request Shri Shivaji Bhattacharya, Assistant Secretary, WBMPA, to present the memento to Professor H.S. Jamadagani, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, for his wonderful, wonderful deliberation, sir. I know how busy you were, but I kept on pestering you, and I'm thanking you from the bottom of my heart for accepting our invitation. A wonderful thank you, sir. Thank you. I must tell you all that on behalf of the All India Federation of Master Printers, we had taken a delegation to Indian Institute of Science, where we discussed all kinds of things with the team of officials at Indian Institute of Science led by Professor Saab, and we discussed a lot of things which we'll come to later on. While what all can Indian Institute of Science do for the printing industry was discussed, and I'm sure we'll take all the advantage for the printing fraternity on behalf of the printing fraternity. Thank you so much, sirs. Thank you so much. I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to my dear friend Ranjanji, past President of All India Federation of Master Printers. Even at the last minute, this morning we said कि आपको तो कुछ बोलना होगा, तो उन्होंने बोल के सबको कमाल कर दिया साहब. Thank you so much. So next session would start at 2:45 p.m. sharp. And let me tell you, we have a galaxy of stalwarts talking again. Shri Noel Saab, Deputy Editor, Print Week, India. Shri Mr. Udo Fibiga, Business Unit Manager, Heidelberg, Asia Pacific. And Shri B.S. Kampani Saab, CEO and Managing Director, Toyo Inc. India Private Limited. Please do not miss this session. This is going to be wonderful. अभी तो डिजिटल हुआ है, अब तो क्या होना है? ऑफसेट होना है. So we look forward to, sir, your wonderful, wonderful deliberation in the afternoon session, and please be there at sharp 2:45 p.m. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed.
A reporter who's been moving around the print industry, talking to people, seeing their plants. So this A to Z is about the vast diversity of the print industry.